guys, thanks for tuning in to my drive-by. It's 87 degrees, about 12:58 in the afternoon. Today's Tuesday, October 7th, 2014. You know, I'm on I-75 going south. I just got on there. I'm heading towards Naples. I'm about 34.6 miles away. I should be getting there about 137. Mile marker 136 going south. Looks like they got a, look up on the right hand side, that sign there, that's a Cracker Barrel at exit 131. But anyway, let's keep going. I'm also in the right lane, guys. I'm going about 60 miles an hour, speed limit 70, and that's fine for me. I would like to say something about Ebola. Now, as you see that, you know, I try to have discussions, and I do a lot of driving, so most of the time I have the talk shows on, or the news, or the radio, and I hear different, you know, discussions. And listening about the whole Ebola thing, you know, I want to, you know, say my comment on this. Ebola, you know, started out in Africa, okay, I believe it's Liberia or whatever, and they had it as far as, I think, in the 70s, some outbreaks. Now, and I know, like Ebola, and what it is, I don't think it's more advanced, the country, now than it was in the 70s. I think they probably do a lot more work, like in the woods, or in the jungles, you know, deforestation, and, you know, take the wood for houses or whatever they do. So they disturb an environment, okay, where the virus lives. Or maybe it's slept for thousands of years, and it only infected like monkeys or bats or whatever, bushmeat type animals, pigs or whatever, and they lived there. But it never had an effect on them, you know, it lived in them, it was a host, but it didn't hurt them. And so for years and years, and now the more those people went into the areas there, the bush, they were seeing more animals, and they, you know, move, and got more animals get dispersed out of that area, because anytime you try to, you know, populate an area or work on an area, you disturb it, the environment. So the animals, and then, you know, over there in Africa, they're starving anyway, so they have very little food. So they eat rats and monkeys and bats and bugs. Whatever they can eat, they eat. I mean, they barely have clean water. So, and I don't really blame those people for that. I mean, they're just trying to survive. So they eat that, and they get the virus in their system. But what happens, you'll notice a jump in it, and I think we have a jump in this because people are hungrier now than they were probably back then. They're encroaching more into these inhospitable areas where mankind really hasn't been. And then maybe a little bit more, not much, a little bit more advanced, like with roads and cars, and more travelers there. Probably more business people and stuff. So what happens is you open several new pathways for the virus, or any kind of virus or bacterial, anything like that. They have other diseases too, and I'm sure they have multiple other diseases in that country. They have a lot of them, other kind of influenza and flus and AIDS, and I mean, they have all that stuff there. But we're just discussing the Ebola because it's such a killer and it kills so fast. Normally they said with Ebola, you get a mild fever, start throwing up. It's like a flu, and then after that, because of the virus is working inside your body, causing bleeding and hemorrhaging and everything, then it gets worse, and then you start bleeding, and it's hemorrhagic fever, which means it kind of breaks down the cell walls, so you bleed to death, and you internally hemorrhage. Not like AIDS, where you would get pneumonia or common cold, and that would kill you. The virus actually is causing damage currently. So anyway, step one, right? All those combination of factors is now you see, just like with the HIV, people all have sex in the world. Sex is probably the one thing that's carried more diseases than anything, or human contact, close quarter contact, or living in a family with somebody that's got it. So, you're going to get somebody that's maybe bisexual from one of these countries. And they said there's 13,500 people that have visas that can leave that country, come to the United States. So, if those 13,500 people probably are smart enough to have a visa, they're probably a little bit more educated. But if they get it and they come here, they probably have more contact with more people too, at a higher level. So, if somebody gets infected, don't you think if they got a visa, they're not going to come to the United States? Because the United States said they had a drug that would cure it. Right now they don't have any. But I really doubt that they don't have any. I think they have some of it and it's hidden. Because why would you give up all of what you have? What if the president got infected with it? They want to have some of that drug to treat people. And I was having a conversation with my wife the other day, and she says, yeah, they still got some of it. They got, maybe 10 or 15 little put aside until they get more. And also, would you want to tell everybody in the world that you have a cure for Ebola? Would you want everybody coming to the United States? Would you want those 13,500 people to come here? What's happening, it's degrading the United States. And a lot of this has got with immigration, immigrants, illegal immigration, and everything. We are a melting pot. So what's going to happen now, I was just listening on CNN the other day. It said there's one case in Spain. I think there's one in New Jersey, one in Dallas, Texas, and then multiple people being checked. So, and it could be updated even more. I think it's probably 5 people. So now we have 3 or 4 people in the United States that are infected with Ebola. And flights are still going into JFK from, Liberia and different countries. Then you have a war that's about to start in Syria with ISIS. I'm not a doom seeker. I'm not one that's saying everything is bad, everything is good, life is cool. And I have a lot of pressure on my ass. Believe me, I've gone through stuff that most people would have committed suicide, in my life. And I'm still going through it. But I always think for the silver lining of the cloud. If I wake up another day, go to work, do a service call, have a cup of coffee, that's good enough for me. And get my kid to an area where he can take care of himself, I'm fine, then kill me now. Electrocute me, do whatever the hell you want with me. I don't care. I figure I'm 59 years old. My life, maybe I got 20 good years. I got a bad back, got arthritis, a little bit of high blood pressure. So, what is my outlook for me? And I'm just a realist. And I talk to people, some they say, oh, no, yeah, I can live forever in a friggin' wheelchair, but I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want to live in a wheelchair, having somebody clean my ass and change my diapers. I wouldn't want that, guys. Maybe you would. Or I wouldn't want to be able to, I wouldn't want to, when somebody comes over to my house that's named Fred, call him, hey, John, and not even know it and have Alzheimer's. Kill me, okay? Put a bullet in my head and kill me. If you don't want to pull a bullet in it, that's fine. Then give me some arsenic, some strychnine, 1,000 morphine pills, whatever you want to do. Take me, sell my body, take my organs out. Nobody probably want it because they're all old. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live my life just like that one senator that shot himself during a speech. He was being convicted of some kind of wrongdoing. He took a gun out and blew his head off. And that's fine. I look at that and I say, well, why did he do it? He did it because it was at the end. And, society does not help you. Society almost forces you into situations to kill yourself or end your life. They really do. It's because, and I'll give you an example, okay? To just give you a small typical thing. You're Joe Blow, you're in your car, you're driving down the road, whatever you're doing, you're just, driving, okay? All of a sudden, a kid runs out and you hit him, okay, and you damage him, or let's say you kill him, okay. I mean, there's other situations you can get arrested for something. But anyway, so you get arrested, charged with a felony hit and run or murder or whatever, and they got to investigate it, okay. They investigate it. Cop comes out. Let's say you got they find something in the case that shows that you were negligent. You were texting or looking on a DVD player of a naked lady. You were doing something that causes some doubt in their mind that you may not want to charge you. So they charge you with a crime. Now you've already been arrested, so that's going to show up on a next check. And if you have a permit, they're going to pull your permit. Okay, so already you'll probably never get that back, because if you get arrested of a felony, I think that's all it has to be. You don't have to be charged. You can just get arrested, I believe, unless you get expunged, and that's another story. So what happens is now you got to get a lawyer, you got to get bail, and your life, guy, for the next maybe 3 to 5 years is going to be a nightmare. Because let's say now you lose your job because you got arrested. Your employer finds out because they take a picture of you and they put your mug shot on the internet. And then on the internet mugshots, other companies copy that and it gets propagated over the whole internet. And your employer, maybe they do monthly checkups by maybe they just type your name in, and the mugshot comes up and they say, oh, he was arrested, blah, 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 you're fired. And then anytime anybody for jobs, a lot of people use the internet, so your information's out there. So now what you got to do is go pay somebody $1,000 to remove all that information, buy back the web shot, delete it out of the system, change your pictures, update everything. You got to do that. You got to get your lawyer, and probably $10,000 to $20,000 you got to pay for a lawyer. You're going to have to get bailed out, and depending on what the charges, it's going to be 10%. You probably have to put up $5,000 that you do not get back. Well, the lost work, and now you're going to still have to pay your bills, pay your mortgage, put gas in your car and work. And maintain a steady head while you're doing this of your family, of, what disgrace it's causing your family too. And all this is just coupled together on your brain, and your brain just spins around like a friggin' whirlwind yo-yo. And you're just there. Now, what would you do? Yeah, you could go berserk. Okay. Some people would think about killing themselves. Yes. And I can see why. I'm not justifying anybody going out and killing somebody or really killing yourself. You should really try to get help and try to live. But the society pushes people into these situations that does not help you. A prosecutor wants to prosecute you. A defense lawyer wants to defend you, but they want money. And they both work out a deal in between. And it's never good for you. You might avoid jail, but you might have a $50,000 fine. And now you've got a criminal record. You got a $50,000 fine that you got to pay, and you ain't got the damn money. What the hell? Or you could go to jail, and then if you go to jail, it's even harder because now if you got a family, you gotta take care of your family. So what is the easy answer? What? A lot of people out there would be like idiots and say, well, don't get in trouble. It's easier said than done. People get in trouble. People are human. Things happen. I am a firm believer in, I think it's Rand Paul, the guy running Rand Paul. There's a guy running for president, I think. And what he wants to do, and I think he's got a really good idea. He wants to, anything that's a non-violent felony. Okay, and a non-violent felony would be cheating on your taxes, embezzlement, scheming, having some pot in your car, maybe drugs, probably yelling at your neighbor that you're a damn asshole, or something, disturbing the peace, a DWI, anything like that, which is non-violent, okay? Which means you're not a violent person, okay? And yeah, somebody says that affects your personality, that is a reflection on your personality to carry a gun or do whatever. No, it's not. It's not. Because there's millions of people out there, and I bet you there's 1,000 people listening to my video right now, that if they got caught by the law doing what they're doing, we could probably get a felony and could get barred from owning a gun, voting, for the rest of their life. Definitely, there's probably at least out there. Now, I'm not saying they're cocaine dealers. I'm not saying you guys are child abusers or wife beaters. I'm saying you probably are doing something out there that could be construed as being you getting charged with a felony. So think about that real deep and tight. And if you're doing whatever you're doing and you're doing it to live, be careful. Be careful. Don't get greedy. Don't overdo it. Because you would hate like hell to get into a situation like that would just, totally asshole screw shit your whole damn life up. Really. And your life would get so screwed up that you wouldn't know anything. But I wanted to bring that up. We have to realize that it's terrible. I know Florida, the governor, he doesn't give a shit about that. He doesn't want to remove that. But I think, boy, that would be a good platform to run on. Because if you have a non-violent felony, it should be expunged, wiped from the record, removed. You know why? Because there's so many people who can't work. And we have jails that are full. And this is another thing that when I bring this up with the jails, listen to this. What do you think the purpose of jails are? Okay, well, we say we put bad people there so they don't do bad things. But there's another purpose. It's a job. You know how many jobs prisons employ? Correctional guards, services, medical services, doctors, nurses, counselors, food companies, vending machines, silverware, guns, supplying everybody. Now it's getting some rain here too. You know how much is involved in there? Building a prison. There's a lot of money there, and then what the government gives them to run them, it's a money-making machine, a prison. A whole legal system is a money-making machine. It's to make money, guys. So if you can't see that, you're a nutcase. Because I'll put it this way, and I'll give you a quick scenario how I think it's a money-making machine. Joe Blow gets arrested. Joe Blow goes to the police station. Those police have jobs. The car the cop drove, somebody's making money out of that. The police station, somebody will. You got to man it, dispatchers and secretaries and everything. Fingerprint machine, cameras. He gets put in the jail. He gets a fine, like let's say he gets a $100,000 fine. He doesn't have $100,000 fine. He wants to work, take care of his family. You don't want to go to jail. He didn't kill nobody, right? He got arrested for, let's say, a non-violent crime. Like having some pot or, maybe cheating on his taxes or federal or whatever scheme, whatever the hell the shit is, he got arrested for it. Okay? So now he's got to contact a bail bondsman. He contacts a bail bondsman. A bondsman, that usually works, they want 10% up front of what you're charged. So you have a $100,000 fine. The bail bondsman puts the $100,000 up to get you out of jail, and you give him $10,000. You do not get that $10,000 back. He keeps that until you go to court. When you go to court and everything is settled, he gets his 10 back. He gets his 100 back. He keeps the 10. It's like a book. Interest for borrowing you the money, depending on how long and how much it is. So that's one thing there. Let's say you put out 10 grand. Now, if you don't have money, yeah, you could get a public defender. Oh, we're getting a rainstorm and a half. You can get a public defender if you don't have money, yes. But if you're charged with something that serious, which is a $100,000 fine, you're going to want to get a regular lawyer. You get a regular lawyer, your lawyer's going to want to probably anywhere from $3,500 to $5,000 down. It'll probably be about $10,000 to take the case, at least, if not higher. So now you put 10. Now you got to put another 5. Now that's 15,000. Now you're losing money in work. So put on whatever money on there. You still got to pay your bills. You ain't even been in court yet. So now you don't want all your pictures on the internet. So you remove them, all the mug shots. You pay $1,000. Now you're at $16,000, and you're not even convicted yet. Okay. You might not even be charged. You go back to court. They charge you. They plea bargain. They go back and forth. And eventually, let's say they give you 5 years of probation and you need to pay back $50,000. Now, they gave you a fucking, I'm sorry, excuse me, I don't mean to swear, guys, but they gave you a record, so you can't work. They're giving you probation, and now they give you a $50,000 fine. You're paying back $66,000. And when you got into a crime, you didn't have money. And if you don't pay that within that money, within that time, you go to jail. So maybe it's better to go to jail and just say, here, I don't have to pay $66,000, and screw you. So the prison systems make you go to jail. Because if you don't have money, you end up in friggin' prison. That's the way it is. I love how these people drive here. I'm going 48 miles an hour. You see how bad the rain is? People are spinning by me going at least 50, 60 miles an hour. I don't know. Maybe they're just way better drivers than me. Well, and now I'm at mile marker 114. I'm about 12 miles away, 12.8 miles away from Naples. The sign here is saying this road is maintained by DriveBy I, whatever that is. But, I wanted to bring all that up, and this is, kind of extended drive-by, but, I find it absurd. It is friggin' absurd, the whole justice system, man. They're making criminals. They're developing criminals. This country's a breeding ground to make criminals. Non-violent felony, guy. Remember. Means like if you didn't beat somebody up or shoot them in the head, or chop them up in little pieces and have them for breakfast, or abuse or child abuse or, stuff like that. But wipe it out, get rid of it, I would hire somebody with a felony. I wouldn't hire him if he was Jeffrey Dahmer, maybe, or maybe he killed somebody. But if he cheated on his taxes or he got caught with a little pot, I can give a shit less, Who cares? Would you really give a shit? And for those people out there that are bleeding heart fools to say, oh yeah, I wouldn't hire. No, because it could happen to you. I just wanted to say that. So, thanks a lot, guys, for tuning into this rainy day video. Now we're coming up past Immokalee, Naples Park, and I hope everybody's doing good. And guys, please subscribe. I got giveaways coming. And part of the giveaway will be you have to be a subscriber and you have to make comments. Okay? So stay tuned for that new tonight, my giveaway video. You have to make a comment on the giveaway video. That's how I'll know if you're subscribing. Just put a note, hey, I'm a subscriber. I've got to go through all these records and stuff. So I'm just going to basically go by anybody that makes a comment on my giveaway video. I'm taking their names from that, and I'm going to be drawing out of there. So even though you're a subscriber, you have to comment when I have my giveaway video, which is going to be coming up very soon. So thanks a lot, guys. And it is 1:23 now, Tuesday in the afternoon. It's got a lot of rain here. And there's a massive semi going to be passing at the left. So, man, barely see shit. I don't know how these trucks even drive. But thanks a lot. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please comment.